Good morning. This is a stock market recap for Tuesday, March 11th. I'm still really sick, so I don't think I'm going to be doing a morning pre market video. So we're still seeing sustained volume, selling volume. We had a bit of a bounce at the end of the day. That's only a bounce so far. We still need to put in. We did break this previous resistance here, but we need to put in a higher low and get follow through to see some sort of change. Otherwise, we're just going to continue our downtrend, and we're still pinned against the underneath the 4-hour EMA. So the most important thing for tomorrow morning is going to be CPI, the inflation data. That's going to rock the market, and that could either bottom us out or send us on another leg down. It is very important, this data, because it's going to determine the interest rates decision, CPI and PPI. So tomorrow is CPI, and Thursday is PPI data, and that's going to rock the market. Both of those things are going to rock the market. They have been known to do that. So we've already got very inflated volume right now, and we could be looking. We've only had 2 days worth of volume traded so far. We still have 3 days to go. This could very easily put a climax volume candle, or just in elevated volume. Just that's what it's showing so far. If we just keep maintain this volume, and we could be looking at a climax. But we need to change the 4-hour trend. That is the most important thing. Well, it starts with the hourly trend, and eventually the 4-hour trend. So as far as we've officially entered a correction now. We have hit down 10% from our 9.98%, so 10% from our all-time highs. Pretty much a straight drop. This is we've finally hit correction territory. Bear market would be down 20% from recent all-time highs, but I'm not expecting that at this time. We would need that would bring us under about 490-ish. I'd need to see a lot more panic, I guess, to think we're heading to a bear market. And so I took another position at the end of the day, or took another position right here actually. When this broke upwards, I got another $8,000 worth of SPY calls, 555, and their May or June calls, I can't remember, but I'm looking further out just because of how much we've pulled back, and I need to give it more time. But I'm fully prepared that if we see a bigger leg down, for whatever reason they're calling this, I'm fully prepared to scale in and watching for a bounce. Like we need to see a daily bounce here. We haven't had a daily bounce since right here. We've dropped a straight down 7.5% since the last daily bounce, and we didn't see much follow through on that bounce. So our first drop was down 5%, and then we bounced 2.5% straight into another 7.5% down. So that is a pretty extreme move. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that. That's a hard thing to play, especially for a bear. Like, to get in, if I'm playing bearish, I'd want to see hourly overbought mark a daily lower high, and we didn't even reach that with this bounce, and that was that bounce, that the daily bounce. So I couldn't have. This just happened so fast. It's very hard to play that, but generally, just like when I buy hourly oversold and 4-hour oversold on the way up, and that should mark daily higher lows or weekly higher lows on the way up. That's the same thing that the bears are looking on the way down. So I'm not looking bear at this time. We are daily oversold, and I don't foresee too much more downside. It's always possible with this data. However, it gets, I think probably, yeah, it's hard to say. It really is just how the market takes the data. But I wanted to get a second position just in case that does end up marking the bottom, the inflation data. Because I know Trump's he's gonna wanna turn this around for sure. His ego's too big to fail, pretty much. So we've pretty much seen the equivalent move of our last dump in July and August, or July here. That's about the same size move. Dollar amount, this is a lot more dollar amount. But yeah, we just hit correction territory now. I'm still waiting for this daily bounce because that is needed here pretty soon. Not that it can't go straight down, but I guess even having this elevated volume that is my red flag, is just the volume on this move. But we have to wait for the daily bounce now at this point and see where that comes from, or if it just V-shapes like this did. Okay, so yeah, the Russell obviously a lot weaker, had this head and shoulders and flush down. Nasdaq had a little bit extra strength on this push, like we just barely broke this level on ES, but we got a little bit more on the Nasdaq. So now we need to see a higher low now at this point. Oh, we actually did change the hourly trend with no follow through though. So we need to keep this momentum going up. Otherwise we're also pinned underneath the 4-hour 12 EMA. The Dow, and the Dow's pretty rough too. See if there's a trend line here I might react to. Yeah, that could end up being a thing. But yeah, and yeah, definitely elevated volume too. We wanna see good CPI and PPI numbers. That is the most important thing here, or we risk a bunch of downside essentially. And I would put that maybe on the S&P. I would call that maybe like 4 or 5% more. Like in a bad scenario, I'd say we could make it down to 530-ish, and that would be around I would think around 14% down. Yeah, 14-ish% down. But we have to see a bounce. If there's just no trend change, this is just a straight drop. We have to see a weekly bounce and then see where our weekly lower high comes from. Otherwise, I can't give this to the bears. The only thing that's standing out definitely is the volume. But you have to change to see more sustained downside. You have to change those trends. All right, I think that's all I'm going to go through. I mean, just changing the 4-hour trends on whatever name you're in. Tesla had a bit of a bounce today. Well, still saw a lower low on the day. Inside bar on Palantir. Yeah, just changing the 4-hour trends. Changing the 4-hour trends is step one. Otherwise, we can't say we're trying to set a weekly higher low until that happens. And it could get pretty rocky here for a little bit if that is the case, if we just keep flushing. All right, I'm just going to do a quick crypto, and I will try and do a market recap tomorrow. I don't think I can do a pre-market. I'm just too sick. All right, bye.